Hey guys, how are we doing on this fine Monday? I am doing okay. I had a bit of a manic day. I basically got into work and had someone ring me, and my laptop doesn't work, and I explained what was going on, and I thought I had a plan. And then he'd gone to the office, picked up a spare laptop they had in the office, and then by the time he got home, it turns out the laptop doesn't work either. So he had to go back to the office. I had to go into Leeds to go meet him. And it turns out both laptops are completely FUBAR. Well, one of them isn't FUBAR. We can get it back working again, but we're not going to because it's out of date. And we need to bin them all anyway. So that's what we're doing. But the other one, just no matter what we tried, it just turned out it's like the motherboard was completely screwed. So that was a bit of a manic and annoyance going on. So, yeah. It is what it is. Sometimes these things happen. And they were like, I only got it 2 years ago. You know, like, sometimes computers just die for no reason whatsoever. And I honestly couldn't find any reason for this laptop to die. It just did. So, we solved it for him. He's getting a new one sent out from London tomorrow. So, all good. And, yeah, that was it. So, yeah, that was a bit of a manic thing. Meant I couldn't go to the gym today, and then once I got back from that, it was just fairly steady away, really. So yeah, yeah, and then nothing else to report, really. That's about it. So yeah. So let me know in chat, let me know in the comments how your Monday has gone. If you don't want to do that, just drop your favourite smiley emoji or your favourite emoji. Let's go with your favourite emoji today. So yeah. And yeah, let's get our Eternal Strands on, shall we? Okay. Right. I have some Dr. Pepper Cherry Crush for my drink tonight. Other cherry flavoured cokes are available. Yeah. If you're wondering why this stream's called Arkham Asylum, it's because we have to go investigate Asylum, and it's the only pun I could come up with. Quite frankly. Right. We can't do that. No, we don't upgrade equipment. We can upgrade. So can't upgrade that. Can't upgrade these. No, I need refined ceranite. I can't remember where we get that from. Alright. Let's do some talking.
Everything okay?
Yes, it is. I'm probably making something out of nothing. I've just got a lot on my mind. Gods! I forgot to thank him for the hammer. I'd better go do that.
Yes.
Half-siders are scavenging their own city. Things must be dire.
Pretty sure they are living in, like, basically the apocalypse, so...
Kind heart, Bryn. Though I'll stick to worrying about us, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Do you suppose she liked it after all?
The hammer?
Yes, of course. I worry she didn't.
Your intentions were perfect, Dom. If you feel it didn't land properly, just ask her. Seriously, it was a very thoughtful gift.
I had thought so. I'm just a little surprised she didn't say thank you.
She remembered, just a little late.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Wayne has Codex compiling. Alright. Sprawling across the southern skies are 1,000 stars. Each of these, in its own way, is a god, hero, or deity that represents something remarkable to the peoples of the High Kingdom of Tazar. Together they are known as the Arch of Gods, a literal constellation of mythologies woven together by cultural exchange. They represent not only religious beliefs, but solutions to practical concerns such as navigation across the Sand Sea. Take, for example, Rabos, the hero of the Sirocco winds. Venerated by travellers hailing from across the Sand Sea, he's said to have ended a 1,000-year drought, using his mighty cloak to shelter ocean rainstorms on their way to bring fleeting life to the dunes. Offerings to him are customary for those wishing to survive the desert, and during my own tour of Tazar, I sought a shrine for him at many way stations. Another whose story I'm fond of is that of Aketel, a river deity whose adherents hail from the northern Tazan mountains. The river system she is associated with runs south from the peaks into the desert. Her lover, a twinned river deity, represents a river system on the opposite side of the mountains that runs its way to the ocean. Their yearning for one another is symbolized by a unique and rare occurrence on this section of the mountain range, where the competing ocean and desert winds blow strong enough to reverse the directions of certain waterfalls. It is said that when these waterfalls flow into the sky and join the two rivers, the lovers are reunited, if only briefly. It's quite a good story. I like that one. The Grand Duchy of Rhineland. Grand Duchy of Rhineland, an insular nation situated at the mouth of the Great Winder River, is a curious beast. It's unique amongst the Maida nations in two ways. It is both a theocratic monarchy and the only region where monotheism is dominant. In sharp contrast to their animist calendar neighbours, the denizens of Rhineland engage in mandatory worship of the hallowed pyre, from which blazes the fire of creation. Rhineland's strong focus on religious and cultural conformity combined with its physical isolation from much of the Maida make it a tough nut to crack for any would-be researchers, spies or other various curious sorts. Outsiders are generally unwelcome the further one gets into Rhineland. In its heavier fortified capital, Danarkage, any deviation from the beliefs of the Orthodox branch of the Hallowed Pyre Church is punishable by torture or death. With this in mind, it is not shocking that Rhineland fared relatively well in the aftermath of the search. They were not reliant on the Enclave's magical artifacts, nor were they affected by the localized storms and geological disturbances around the Enclave due to their distance from the Vale. In fact, Rhineland could be seen to capitalize on the chaos. The Grand Duchy supported and supplied their unruly neighbours in Calhaven to throw off the shackles of the aggressive Sanchaz Empire, thus creating a valuable buffer between Rhineland and Sanchaz. On the other front, Rhineland made advances in their territory in the contested lands on the southern edge of the Maida, pushing back the beleaguered Tazan forces. Now, Rhineland continues to exert pressure on its neighbours. On Clanhaven, the pressure to convert to worship of the hallowed pyre and to pay back their mounting debts. On Tazar, the pressure is simply to capitulate. Time shall tell whether both or either of these come to pass. The information gathered by our point has provided us with a rare opportunity to sift through what would have been highly protected evidence, plans and such. While it is difficult to avoid the mental image of being a well-educated carrion bird hunting for scraps in the Enclave's mouldering corpse, I would be remiss if I do not record as much of the Enclave's history as possible, even if any survivors might prefer it to remain hidden away. It's a lovely thought, is that one, isn't it? Despite our collective endeavours, though I've been unable to find any information on who coordinated clandestine efforts here, a single report, likely destined for the fire before the surge struck, was directed to the Eye, suggesting that the sender, only identifying as Signet, reported directly to the elected head of the Enclave. We have no conclusive proof that Signet was the title or official role, but it seems a valid path of conjecture. What's clear from less sensitive documents gathered by both our point and our band is that the Enclave's operators rarely had to work outside their own lands. Such was the volume of both international trade and the diplomats who enabled that considerable influence could be wielded by simply recording, analysing, and acting within these walls. Excuse me, even if the targets were citizens of the Enclave. One must imagine that, were these revelations shared with the public at the time, the uproar would be staggering. Some members of the intelligence organisation were carefully embedded within the diplomatic corps that worked in embassies in friendly nations, likely to provide alternate perspectives and verify information gleaned from the Enclave's vast web of informants. It's clear that, despite the Enclave's burnished image, its leadership was not leaving anything on the table in regards to the intelligence it gathered. No. Apparently it was not. Right. Let's go have a look around, because I'm aware there's right, nothing there. There's one like page, codex page thing. Just one that we haven't gathered around here. So see where that may be. Yeah, that just takes us on the path to travel. Right, can't get down there. So where could this... Don't think we can climb in here either. Oh, yes we can. Okay, no we can't. Sorry, so every time Brim returns to the Southern Wall West Station from the expedition, resources are automatically stored in the chest in their tent. They are used from that point on for quest crafting or conversion to camp supplies. Yeah. Well, we got plenty of stuff. Can't use magic. I mean, there it is. Well, it's not the prettiest game ever. It's no slouch. Cool. Right, so we've got that. Right. Let's try his quest. What quest we got? Highland Ice Claw. Right. Let's go find the Highland Ice Claw. Get that out of the way, and then we'll do the Asylum. Yeah, that was easy. Woodland Hollow. Okay. There we go. Anything good down here? Rough leather. And bad things spewing out there, so this is some badass looking armor, to be fair. I didn't mean to redirect that arrow into his mate, but it's very much one of them. If it works, it works. Where's this ice claw? Oh, it's going to be up there or something irritating. Stop missing me. Stupid robot. I can hear it flying up. can hear the ice claw. It's close. He's Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. Where are you, you stupid bird? There. There you are. Well, if you want to get me, you gotta do better than that. This thing is not landing. I really need it to land. There we go. Oh yeah, it was take out his legs, wasn't it? I remember now. Let it land, and then take out its legs. If you take out both its legs, you can't do the stomping thing when we get on its back. I think I might have accidentally taken out both its wings as well, but it's still flying. That was close. That was also close. Come on, land. Yeah, so it'll stop doing that. Oh, that's what I was told. I'm sure that's what... I'm sure that's what the codex said about this thing. Oh, here we haven't actually taken it out of its legs yet. It seems to be just like killing it again. Yeah, okay. Health pack. Hide on the hill. Come on, land, you stupid bird. That is entirely not the same as landing. Aiming this bow. Actually, right. Right. I can't have taken out its legs properly. Otherwise, it wouldn't still be able to do that. I'm sure that's what it said when we read the codex. God damn it, stay on the ground. Alright, it looks like I've damaged its legs. Right. I would have said that that's... I can't...
Could always use more frost magic.
Okay. Where's all the goodies that are supposed to drop out of this thing? Really need to stop jumping when I'm climbing. It doesn't help your stamina, like, at all. Right, let's go up here. Mm-hmm. There's bodies somewhere. Right, there's bodies down there. There's gonna be any goodies that fell out of it around here. But there isn't any. Well, that's just plain annoying. Alright. Well, at least we got the thing that we're looking for. Back down here, head towards the Loon Gate. Let's have just another check around. Ah, there it is. I knew there'd be some stuff floating about. Always pays to double check, folks. Chill for the weave. Alright. I suppose I could just not walk. Use my little thing to get back. Honestly, if there's some... What is that noise? Okay. I think we're almost back. Right. I just realised refined serenite, which is what we need, comes out of there as red rocks. Arkham's Hearth. Might as well. We need to do it for the main story, don't we?
Where am I? Underground. Barrier almost looks like the Veil.
It must be the one Lucia wrote about in her notes.
And the panel looks like our scry. Anyone know what it is?
No idea.
Damn strikes me as someone there. Do you know what this is? No, you should definitely press it.
Similar design to a scry, but it looks like it's a permanent installation. Like it interfaces with the room. Could this be the harness?
Must be. It seems like Asylum involved sealing away whatever's beyond this barrier.
With this discovery and everything else you found, I should be able to piece together what Asylum actually was.
Okay. I can see stuff but can't do anything about it. Going down there will kill me. Compile research on Asylum with Lane. Okay. Guess we're going back here. Right. Down here. Onto greedy powers. Cool. That's good. All right. Macbomb, hi. How you doing, buddy? Got it. It's compiling. Asylum. All right. Brace yourself for some talking. Asylum. It is well documented that across the Mida, the surge was catastrophic. Excuse me. However, primary documents found within Bastion are the first to shed light on what those impacts may have been behind the veils, the Enclave's veil. Will you activate your auto? Okay. Minutes of a war room meeting among the Enclave's highest-ranking military officials dated in 1020 indicate that following the surge, casualties plateaued for a while before beginning to rise again sometime around 1015. 5 years later, at the time of the aforementioned meeting, the casualty rate was high enough that the remaining weavers were in danger of being overcome entirely. The exact cause of these casualties is inconclusive. It's not difficult to hazard a guess that the same natural disaster that ravaged parts of the Mida following the surge would have played a factor in the Hearthsider's deterioration inside the Vale. Point's explorations comprehensively demonstrate that the Enclave's landscape and settlements have been torn apart by earthquakes, and its extreme weather fluctuations frequently render its environments inhospitable. In addition, the danger of wild creatures clearly intensified the longer they were exposed to raw magic in the wake of the surge. These very threats would undoubtedly result in casualties within a long-suffering population. In addition to this, a research paper was found within a military workshop for enchanters. Oh, cool. Dated in 1010 and titled Observing Ark Degradation, this paper raises another theory, that perhaps the Ark's hostility has contributed to the survivors' rising casualties. Initially, our band had pondered the question of whether the Ark's hostility was an act of defense from the surviving weavers here. This paper proves otherwise. It would appear that there was an expected and normal amount of behavioural degradation, according to the Enclave's head of defensive weaving, Cornelius Tradd. However, over the course of the following 10 years, the Arks began turning against their own creators until all had become hostile by 1010. Tradd believes that something sinister was at play, noting this was far more than a repair malfunction. To summarise, it is difficult to conclude with certainty which of, if any, of these factors are what led to the devastating casualties among the survivors. This is in large part due to mass censorship ordered by the Enclave's highest-ranking official, the Eye. Thus, most of the records we have found pertaining to the rising casualties are heavily redacted. However, in a letter to the Bastion's commander, Khan Stanhold expressed concern that details of their crisis were being linked to a dissenting group of civilians who might aspire to thwart Asylum. This detail allowed us to tighten the scope of our research significantly. So, what was Asylum? We can say with certainty that Asylum was a defensive measure that was enacted in 1026 as a response to the rising casualty rate, and that involves sealing an underground portion of the city behind a magical barrier not dissimilar to the veil surrounding the Enclave. Given that we still have yet to encounter any Hearthsiders, it would be easy to conclude that the surviving population of the Enclave was sealed inside this barrier for safekeeping from the various threats that escalated following the search. It is important to note that there is no solid evidence to confirm this. This could be due to the fact that Asylum was a covert military operation, and thus the Enclave took care not to document the location of their safe haven. That would be a reasonable estimation, but it is important to note that this is pure speculation until we find further proof of what Asylum's barrier contains. I want to say it contains a massive, bad, evil thing.
Its potential ties to the flood. But want to get a rundown of the research first?
Of course. Years after the surge, there was an inexplicable spike in casualties.
You don't think it's due to the Arks going hostile?
Well, that may be part of it, but we can't be certain due to the information blackout.
I see.
All we know is
It's
that
not showing up on my chart thing because I use an aggregate thing, but that's pretty awesome.
A defensive measure that
Thank you,
involved
Macron.
sealing the underground behind a magical barrier.
Almost like the Veil.
Exactly like the Veil.
The Enclave clearly has many secrets that discuss the need for secrecy
So
further.
the Enclave didn't just hide information from the rest of the Mater, but their own people as well.
Judging from the secrecy and
If you put some hearts actually in the chat rather than what you were doing, Mark, it'll show up on screen, or it should do, if it's working.
People like Lucia.
And a dissenting group known as the Verdant Minds that she had ties to. Though it's entirely unclear what those ties were.
Lane mentioned unmanageable casualties.
You said the casualties spiked long after the surge. Can you elaborate on what might have caused this?
This is truly the thousand-fairer question. With the information blackout, I can't find a concrete link to the cause across hundreds of pages. Ark hostility could certainly be a factor. Clearly, numerous weavers were killed by their own defenses.
I mean,
The
that makes
recorded
sense.
minutes from other meetings in the war room illustrate a long period of geological instability following the surge as well. Aftershocks and earthquakes, and, well, not to mention the outskirts grew more dangerous each year as the creatures were allowed to breed unculled. But these threats seemed to plateau in the early years after the surge. There is no mention of the spike that resurfaced and prompted Asylum.
That's so strange.
It is.
Big evil thing. Keep saying this. The commander executed Asylum on the ice orders.
Khan Stanielt gave the orders to execute Asylum. Do we know anything else about him?
Judging from the series of letters between him and the commander, it would seem that, at the time, he was recently elected. And judging from the frequency with which he followed up on the commander's progress with Asylum, this defensive measure was a key pillar in his political platform. He seemed to grow increasingly concerned with his popularity among civilians in the most recent
I mean,
letters.
that sounds like a politician. Let's be perfectly honest.
Kind of slimy.
Again,
Leveraging
politician.
a security crisis to consolidate political influence. Yes, it's incredibly slimy and effective.
And the commander? Do we know what happened to him?
It would appear that Asylum was executed successfully, so perhaps he is still alive. But until we find the Hearthsiders, we can't know for sure.
Sealing it underground.
It's got to be where the Hearthsiders went, right? Remember, the letter mentioned they were evacuated from the city.
To an undisclosed location. We have no real confirmation that they are down there.
But it would make sense.
I was just about to say, it
After
would
all,
make sense that.
Asylum can
No.
mean shelter or safekeeping.
It can also mean prison. I know everyone wants an easy answer to where they went, but something just doesn't add up. You would think
Hang on,
there'd
Mac.
be at least one document linking Asylum to the evacuation of the city, and there simply isn't.
I didn't quite mean that many. Sorry, Mac. A few too many Nightbot kicked in. Maybe I need to increase that. I'll have a look at increasing that.
So, back to the barrier. Think it's the one Lucia was trying to take down?
Yes, the very same. She was right, too. It's
I can't remember what it's set at to. I think it might be a maximum of 10.
Causes the tangles to cluster at its base. In speaking with Dom, we theorized that the second barrier could potentially be doing the same thing, except in a more pressurized environment, like, say, within a barrier of kinetic magic.
We don't get small pockets of raw magic like tangles. We get floods of it.
Precisely.
So we need to remove Asylum's barrier to stop the flood. Now we really need to talk to the others.
Sorry, Matt, you got timed out. I'll put on the I'll work out what Nightbot's rules are because I can't remember, and I'll put a community post in about it.
We're still not sure the cause.
Wherever the Hearthsiders went, they're still actively sending scouting groups to scavenge for supplies. From the uniform, the creeper who was watching Bryn sleep belongs to one of these groups.
We also know that a defensive procedure codenamed Asylum sealed access to the Enclave underground. This was done using a barrier almost exactly like the Veil.
Lucia, an ex-high enchantress, opposed Asylum and began working on ways to sabotage it.
Her research forecasted that the barrier would cause the Enclave to flood with miasma. The very same flood that seems to have killed Lucia before she was able to finish her thimble.
But we have her design. It could disrupt Asylum's barrier.
So the next quest is going to be getting refined
To our survival.
Serenite.
It's less a key and more like a magical battering ram.
Whatever works.
What is it, Lane?
It's just, I've pored over all the documents we've compiled, and a concrete link between the evacuation plan and the underground is nowhere to be found. I can't shake the feeling we're missing something.
Big evil thing. There was an information blackout. Wonder if that's why the link is missing.
The Enclave destroyed a lot of information from their documents. Could that be why you can't find a link between Asylum and the evacuation?
I considered that. The Enclave may have hidden their location from Lucia.
Being a weaver isn't about being certain all the time. It's about taking calculated risks to carve a path.
Guess we'll be taking a calculated risk.
Regardless of the Hearthsider's location, disrupting the barrier is the only option to stop the flood.
You're right. I just hope that if we did miss something, it doesn't come back to bite us.
Even if it does, we will handle it.
That settles it. Bryn, it's time to use the thimble.
Okay. Craft. Refined Serenite. Okay, we need refined Serenite.
There's a flood of raw magic on our heels. Shouldn't be my way out.
Sir, the ark is broken. Do you have any ideas on how else we can get out of here?
Talk to Arya. Just for a minute.
Artists firing kinetic magic are always bad news, as it makes closing that much harder. Prioritize them.
Okay, that wasn't helpful. Thought I was gonna get a nice story beat, but no. Right. Where were the orange? We had the red rocks. I think it was all around Upper Denevron and Lower Denevron. Lower Denevron. 3 of 5. Right. Let's go get some hammers if we can. Oh, but we can't because we can't get up to those locations. I don't think we can. Right. Let's try. Right, we don't have to take on the Great Beast. We've maxed out all his powers for the time being. I just wanted to know if this would melt that ice thing. Clearly it doesn't. Hang on. We need a bulb. Goodbye, boss. Okay. That was completely worth it. Alright. Where are we going? You kind of need to go up. We need to be up there. But the game isn't going to let me go up there. It's like we need to upgrade the scry. I did just upgrade all the stations, so maybe this has sorted it. But I can imagine not. Yeah, nope. Alright. Why does she never jump? I get to the edge of a platform and I press the jump button and nothing happens. Let's go this way. I feel like there should be a way to get us up. There should be a way to get us up there. Good, Bob. Right, so you see where I'm thinking? You see this area here? I feel like we should be able to get up to there, to get on there, to get that hammer. Just not sure you actually can. You see, right, let's keep going this way and try and figure it out. If you come across any of them large red rocks along the way, we'll do it. Well, my plan is
That's as far as I can push the scry.
the plan is faltered at the first hurdle. Just fucking die. Bob's just fighting everything that moves. You go, Bob. You go. I'm going to actively try to not fight the arc. Some... Okay, Bob's here.
Trover's Gate was the end of the Strand Road. Led through Forbridge and beyond the Vale.
And we can't go any further. Go on, Bob. You take him on. One down. Oh, I love you, Bob. Right. Alright. Alright. We're doing alright. No, we don't want to fight the Ark. Goddamn scry. Okay, this is... It's just annoying. Right, I officially don't know how to get these things. Right. If this is lower Denevron, we must need to go back to upper Denevron. Thank you, Bob. Hmm. I was thinking earlier, surely we're missing gate or whatever. Right, let's go to Upper Danarkage. Should we try the Bastion? Upper Danarkage. Yeah, let's go to Guild District. See if we can find them red boxes. Yeah, not boxes, blocks. We're looking for giant red stones, which I do believe gives us refined ceranite. I was in fact trying to push those two off the wall. Right. With there being a flash freeze, I'm not 100% sure. Alright, 100% sure I'm gonna be able to find these red blocks. Okay. I don't even know what epic creature is flying around here. Yeah, that was some ceranite, just the wrong type. I can actually pick enemies up. That's quite cool. No. Come back here, you. Once you get used to the powers in this are pretty cool. It's just like remembering to use them. You got launched. You get killed, though. Right. I don't think I'm gonna find what I need to find here today. We've got at least 3 more powers to find. I think I'm gonna see if he makes Bob explode. Yep, he is. You look, stuff. Dee, 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 dee. Oh. I forgot how to do it. I was trying to do the jump and I completely forgot how to do it. Here we go. Something a bit like that. Alright. One thing I would like to point out at this juncture. I am playing this game on mouse and keyboard. This is a game that is not really designed for mouse and keyboard. I say that's the remnants of the dude I threw about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, so these red blocks that I want. I don't think we'll... Yeah, I won't actually be able to tell any of them are here unless it's not a flash freeze, which is actually deeply annoying. But luckily, okay, Wingate's just here. Let's go home. We'll have a kip. That should change all of the things. In fact, let's have a talk with Solar first. See if we can get...
You know, there's one silver lining to the sad tale of our deceased runners.
What's that?
We know the Hearthsiders still have some advanced production capabilities. The materials they were gathering
Interesting.
don't have much use for basic survival. Therefore, weapons, armor, and enchantments.
Any concerns about us claiming them?
None. They've been there long enough. Scavenger etiquette applies. These kinds of materials are too rare to let go to waste.
Sounds good to me. Alright, what I want is some stuff that'll... There's something that'll tell me where to find certain items. I wonder if Lane's Codex. Codex. No. No. Southwall Word Station. Alright, let's read these. As its borders solidified, the Enclave built a series of physical fortifications along its land perimeter, the largest of these being known simply as South Wall. There were several way forts dotted along the protective structure, with only one main entrance to open to trade caravans. The station we now call home was once a resting stop just inside the Enclave's walls, a safe harbour for caravaneers to rest behind the south wall after braving the treacherous roads outside the Enclave's control. Surprisingly well-preserved transit logs found in the rubble speak to a steady stream of traffic up until the surge. Also contained in the way station logs are entries detailing the process for transporting dignitaries to the Neveron. These travellers will be met here and whisked to the Neveron via the Loomgate network, while the rest of their caravans or retinue would continue on the trade roads to their final destination. It seems that there was lucrative work to be had for weavers skilled enough to send the untrained through the loom gates, a process that usually takes skill with a mantle. The process involved wrapping the non-adept in a thin weave of kinetic magic to transport them through the network. Caveat: what we know about this process was only pieced together from vague references, and it's deeply impractical for us to attempt to replicate it at the current moment. Not to mention dangerous. I need to include the words dangerous here so Dan doesn't get any funny ideas. Regardless, it seems like we may be stuck here for a while. May as well try our best to make it comfortable. Dunbrenning League. The brave people of the Dunbrenning League have weathered terrible storms of both literal and metaphorical nature. From the west looms the ever-present threat of the Sanhaz Empire. From the east, across the ocean, come winter's ice gales and summer's furious squalls. In the mountains, specialised units of Dunbrenning's military, the Fracture Watch, keep a weather eye on the glaciers, ready to protect against the dreaded Brenning Glasstails at a moment's notice. More generally, the armies of Dunbrenning serve dual duty as the protectors of their people and as civil engineers, constantly improving on ways to shield the country's citizens from its many natural perils. One can imagine, then, that the rise of the Enclave was nothing but fortuitous for Dunbrenning. The Enclave's airless technology pacified the waters of the Maida and beyond, calming the weather to the delight of the country's citizens. This, of course, came at great monetary cost, but was considered a deeply wise choice given its positive outcomes. The surge undid all of that and more. The whole magical technology either ruined or running haywire, the Brenning people once again had to shift their focus to more practical solutions to their problems. The nation's relative political stability was a boon in this period of time. They were easily able to fend off a few weak feints Sanhaz aimed at them and began to look outwards. In spite of their troubles, the Brenning are a kind, hospitable folk, hungry to share their culture and wealth across the Maida. In this urge that led the nation's leadership to found the Udean Relief Effort to assist in rebuilding their devastated neighbours across the Maida. This was not entirely altruistic. Dunbrenning's merchant navy now holds great influence, and the efforts funds have in kind been diligently siphoned off by Udean nobles. But its efforts have improved the quality of life for both surge-stricken Udeans and the Brenning youngsters who gain valuable life experience helping those in need. See, that was quite good.
A deadly flood of raw magic is just what we need.
And to sleep. Right. To get. Right. Up at the Neveron. Clear Ark of the Stricken Earth. I've only found 2 of the loom gates. I wonder where the third one is. Keep an eye out in our travels. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Right. Big red stones. When have those? Thank you for the subscription and welcome to the Danites, my friend. Bye. Okay, this isn't Weaver's grass. Fine. Goodbye. Oh, you just... I ran out of magic. That's annoying. I want you to go flying off the edge. Thank you. Finally done it. Right. Not Serenite, we want refined Serenite. Right, we definitely came to the wrong loom gate because I wasn't paying attention. You know what? That's absolutely fine. Whoever's just subscribed on YouTube, I'm sorry I can't call you out by name. But welcome to the Danites and thank you for the subscription. Hey, stop. Just fucking die. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Thank you guys, whoever's subscribing and everything. I'm getting notifications. I'm not 100% sure what those notifications are. Normally it means the YouTube subscriptions, so if you are subscribing on the YouTube channel, thank you so much for subscribing and welcome to the Danites. Let's just go up here. Okay. Not sure what's going on with them notifications there, but thank you. I think after Eternal Strands, I'm gonna take a week off streaming and just spend the week sorting out some stuff for the stream. Hopefully come back with a You stop. You just go over the wall. Fuck's sake. That archer is very confused right now. Right. Head towards Upper Denevron. Oh, Lower Denevron. Oh, I don't even know where the smeg we are. Well, that wasn't what I meant to do. Ooh, I walked him through flames and he died. Can I pick this thing up? Oh, I can. Come here. There's a lot of bad guys around here. Come on. No magic. Gotta wait for the magic to refill. No. Just fucking die. That would be mine. I don't want to fight the giant arc. Okay. Yeah. Didn't even mean to do that. Goodbye. Okay. We're doing alright. Lots and lots of stuff. absolutely none of what we need. I may have to look up where the refined ceranite comes from. Because I could have sworn it comes from the giant red stones that you can break. The problem I've got is I haven't actually found any of the giant red stones. Where would... You're right on the other side of the map. No. Not quite what I was going for, but it works. I'm deeply aware that Arkham is over there. Ah, red stones, red stones. That's what I want. Don't want to fight the Ark. Might have to fight the Ark. Gonna have to fight the Ark. Ah, screw off. I couldn't. I'd accidentally cycled through my. I'd accidentally cycled through my stuff, so I wasn't on the healing potions. Let's do that and just travel straight to Riverside. See if this will make it a bit easier. Find some red. Oh, cack.
Hold on, hold on.
Shut up. Right. Right. I don't want to fight the Ark. I just want to look for the giant red stones. All I'm looking for, that's all I'm bothered about. This is annoying. Alright, you. Oh, I didn't piss off the Ark, that's good. Now I have. Alright. Let's just have a quick run around here. See if we can actually find any of the red stones. There's a redstone. I wonder if there's some sort of recipe to refine ceramic. Alright, time to go home. Alright, folks. Right. I can't actually do... Whatever. So we'll just leave it there. Alright. Thank you so much for everyone who's chatted. Thank you for all the subscribers and whatever the other notification were. I normally the notification that I get that gives me a pop-up on the screen but doesn't give me a name, that's normally a YouTube subscription, and it doesn't give me a name because YouTube is weird like that and don't let you do it. So, but I don't seem, I've only increased YouTube subscribers by 1, so why there were like 4 or 5 of them I don't really understand, but it might have just been a glitch with the thing. So yeah, when we're done with Eternal Strand, I'm going to take a week off, sort out some stuff with the stream, come back with hopefully what is a nicer cleaner stream, some nice clean notifications, because I spent years messing about with the notifications. I need to just not do that And yeah, I think I'll use a different provider for that, so that's what's going to happen. All right, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with some more Eternal Strands, so don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already and are watching this, and have a fantastic Tuesday, and I'll catch you tomorrow night. Good night.